What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.
Huh. Well, here you are again. It's funny meeting like this, right? I was just reading some old Vader's back issues. Well, welcome to another episode of Comic Conversations. I'm your host as always, so welcome back, true believers. This will be the last video for the week because I am going to Heroes Con. And actually, my guest will be at Heroes Con too, and I'll be able to meet him in person for the first time. Straight from the 619, the hometown of Rey Mysterio, we have Paul in the 619.
What's up, Matt?
Booyah. 619. How you going, man?
The tables are turned. I interviewed you. Now you're interviewing me.
Yeah. And we'll get to meet in person this weekend.
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
if
it's
it'll
going
be
to be dope,
tomorrow
man.
or Friday, but we will be meeting. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Heck yeah. It's going to be dope, man.
So you feel good? You don't have to go back to work tomorrow or don't have to go back to work the rest of the week?
Dude, I worked till the last second. I'm happy to be off. Yeah, man. I'm off for 2 weeks. So, yeah, let's go. I'm going to start off right, too. I'm starting it off by going to Heroes Con to meet new homies. It's going to be great.
And then you're going to take a little road trip, aren't you? Or something like after the...
Yeah, we're going to be going up to Washington, D.C., and then my wife's originally from Ohio, so we're going to go from Charlotte to Washington, D.C. to Ohio. What's up, Ed? Steven?
Ed?
Man. What's up?
Are there any con books we should be looking for at Hero Con? Well, I know a couple. Like Jenny Prison's got a foil variant she's got coming out. It's the cover where she's got the two pet hyenas with her as a foil. And she's got a DC art book that's going to be there available. I don't know if anybody remembers Ed Piscor, rest in peace. Cartoonist Kayfabe. His family's going to be there. They have a Cartoonist Kayfabe exclusive book they got. It's not exclusive. The con doesn't really have exclusives. Heroes Con really doesn't do that, but the booths will have them. Another guy I know from Whatnot, Punisher Rider, is going to have some G.I. Joe. It's like a G.I. Joe, like a kind of a bootylicious Scarlet cover. You know, it's like one of those unauthorized covers. So Punisher Rider, I can't remember what booth he is, but look for Flat Earth Santa. The puppet will be there with him. This is Buddy. Flat Earth Santa is buddies with him. And Scotty Young's going to have some of those Exquisite Corpses #1 issue, I think, of his variant there.
Very cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to go. I hear it's the best Comic Con for comics and artists. So,
yeah.
And we will
vlog. That's why I'm doing the pilgrimage. Yeah.
So I guess we'll start out like this. What is your comic book collecting origin story? Were you blasted on a ship here from an alien planet because your planet was dying and your father and mother sent you here to Earth so you could survive, and now you collect comic books? Or how did you get into collecting comic books?
Well, pretty much I was pretty young when I started getting into comics. You know, my dad was in the Navy, and he used to go out to sea a lot. And so I didn't see him for long periods of time. And for him and I to break the ice, he used to, when he'd come home from overseas, he'd have like a stack of comics to give me. And these comics weren't the best of shape. The sailors back then, they would read the comics, and after they got done with it, after like 5 or 6 guys read the comic, they would like throw it in a corner or whatever. And my dad, at near the end of this cruise that they were doing in the Navy, he would collect them all and give them to me. So I'm a little kid, and the first comics that I remember my dad bringing home was like Captain America, Master of Kung Fu, among others. But those two pretty much, like in my brain, is what I remember him bringing home. So, and then
that's kind of had the same kind of thing. My dad was in the National Guard for 20 years, and when they would go on maneuvers every year, training for 2 weeks, he would go to the PX and bring me back a bunch of books. Let me ask you a question about that. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
But
no,
were
no.
any
Go
of them
ahead.
Mark Jewelers, you think, or do you remember that far back?
I
Because
have no idea. There was no such thing as Mark dealers back in the day. You know what I mean? It's not like
well,
when
I mean, they were, but it was like not anything we knew about
I'm
really.
pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure there were. All those comics that he gave me. Excuse me. There was a. I remember fourth grade, fifth grade. It was like I remember there was a teacher that collected comics, and he would tell the kids, you bring me your comics and I'll buy all your comics. So I remember bringing like stacks of comics to this teacher, and he would give us like, each comic like 50 cents for the comic. And then after school, I would take all this money uh, that I got from selling the comics, and I would go to like a 7-Eleven and buy, candy and pop and all that stuff. But this teacher was ripping these kids off. He ripped me off.
Oh yeah, a little shyster. He was a shyster. That guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So he was a teacher ripping off the kids. So
That's messed up.
yeah. So and the thing is, throughout the years, it was probably like a lot of guy collectors, off and on. I collected like in middle school, and then when I got into high school, I started playing sports. Didn't really collect then, but I
Yeah.
did keep the comics. I did keep the comics that I picked up when I was in middle school, and then after high school, I joined the Army, and didn't collect comics then. But when I came back, when I got out of the Army, I started collecting again, and pretty much. Probably like for 25 years, I've been collecting. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
teacher probably got $1 million. It's unfair what he got. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
He probably
Them
is a
kids probably
millionaire.
brought in like, I mean, we had no idea back then. Like, I have comics that are still not in bags and boards that were my childhood books. We got through. We just put them in the corner and they were in a big pile. We didn't know. I didn't know what a bag and board was. There wasn't even comic shops where I lived. I live in a small Kentucky town in southeastern Kentucky in the mountains. So we got our comics, and I'm sure you were the same way though. Back in the day, we got our comics from the 7-Eleven or the grocery store or the drug store on a spinner rack somewhere.
Yeah.
Remember the little Archie Digest they used to have at the checkout counter? I remember those. And but then I don't know. Like one thing when you get in high school, this is what happened with me. I got a driver's license and discovered the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're like, there. Back then, like now, it's kind of cool. Like I know girls that are into this. We got some cool women in the. There's cool women that collect. We know a few of them in the community, and they think it's kind of cool. But back then, it was not cool. It was not cool.
Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., man, he changed it for us.
That's right, Iron Man. It slowly started changing. Like when Batman '89 came out, it was kind of like, well, Batman's kind of cool, so we'll give it a pass to the Batman fans. But then the rest of y'all are still a bunch of nerds. But gradually over time, and then Robert Downey Jr. comes out, and that was it. And you could also argue that Blade, the movie Blade, kind of set the stage for like comic book movies to actually be successful and not just be Superman or Batman. Because probably the reason Superman and Batman is successful because everybody knew who Superman and Batman were. They're just pop culture phenomenons. So so you got into that way, and that's the one thing. This is the one thing about this hobby. It's almost like somebody that's an alcoholic or a drug addiction. You gotta watch out. You always go back to it if you're not careful. But at least this way, you're not like selling everything you own to get them and stealing or something. But I mean, so it's like I don't usually compare it because I always say that at least I'm not smoking like cocaine or something.
Right.
I'm probably going to get like this video demonetized. I'm not monetized anyway, so I don't really care. But okay. So what were some of the ones when you were collecting as a kid, or even now? I know one particular you collect. You're trying to get the whole Spawn run. I know, and you're going to be probably doing that at Heroes Con. Looking for that. Yeah. I should have called this the Special Heroes Con edition, but it's too late. But what did you like reading? Like Spider-Man, or you said Captain America? I don't know. You said Captain America.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Master of Kung Fu. The thing is, when I grew up, I was really into kung fu flicks. So if you see, so if you go to my channel, there's there's kind of reminders of that. You know, has like my opening is yeah. See, there you go. Yeah, I was really big in kung fu flicks. So you know, the cool thing about Master of Kung Fu, Shang-Chi was Asian. You know, the thing is
Yeah.
that I know like today there's a pretty much there's a lot of representation of like different races and stuff. You know, back then there wasn't too many Asians,
Yeah.
so to see it in the comic book was dope. So as far as like comics growing up, I have the whole run of Master Kung Fu. That run right there is like near and dear to my heart. But as I get older, the thing is, I've collected throughout the years less and less Marvel. Less and less Marvel, a little bit more DC. Definitely, I read a lot more independent than anything else. Yeah, like you said, Spawn. I didn't start collecting Spawn until like 2 years ago, and the thing with me is, I'm crazy. I'm crazy when it comes to collecting because I just need to have everything. You know what I mean?
Same here. If I start getting into something, that's it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know that. I know that's true with you when you collect GI Joe. I mean, your GI Joe
Definitely.
collection is just is dope, bro.
It's almost at some point I've almost debated like quitting buying new books. I just love new books so much though because of the art, and like there's some great stories out there. It's not. I mean, I think maybe sometimes I don't know what you think, but sometimes you think maybe we look back at the past in little rose-colored glasses, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know they were great back then, but I mean, like, there's still some great stuff. But like, nothing beats like the old Master of Kung Fu or like
Yeah.
Iron Fist and Power Man. I used to love that. Captain America. Like, I mean, I will argue that I don't think they really anybody can draw Captain America as good as Jack Kirby or Mike Zeck could.
Oh man, he's the thing is that I know the other day we were talking about artists and writers we would love to meet. Jack Kirby, the thing is that you always think that these guys are going to be around forever, and until they're not, and then you have regrets. What's up, Bobby? The thing with me is that, I had a bunch of opportunities growing up to meet Jack Kirby, and for some reason, I just never took the time to do that. And it's one of my, as far as being a comic book collector and fan, that's one of the things I regret.
Right, Steven. And
Steranko,
Steranko
another
was
great.
great at it. And you know what? That's one thing we're like. I at this Heroes Con. I know, like I have Frank Miller's autograph, but I've never met the man.
Yeah.
But I would love to meet him before. I know he's not getting any younger, and I was sad to hear that Jim Shooter's not going to be there for health reasons. And they say he's been pretty sick, so I was hoping to meet him this year, but it don't look like he's going to be there. And Mike Grell won't be there. But I'm taking this opportunity to go and even I know everybody's like, oh, it's going to be too long a line, but it's Chris Claremont, and Chris Claremont meant a lot to me. You know how I love the X-Men too.
Yeah,
I probably love them just as much as I do the G.I. Joe. And like I said, I got to go because he's not going to get any younger. And like I already have a regret. Like, I remember when I started getting back into it again, and I started getting back into it. I love George Perez, and I grew up reading like the Teen Titans. I know I'm talking too much about myself, but like I grew up reading that. What he did on Avengers,
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff he did in the 90s was great, and even in 2000s and stuff. And I said, well, I'll have a chance to meet him as soon as I can get to a con. I'm close to it. And then he ended up passing away from, I think, stomach cancer. So, we never know. You never know.
You never know. You never know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, Steve. Like this Mike Zeck, we see Mike Zeck's behind us, right, Paul? You can see him. That's Mike Zeck's work behind us in the background. So
Nice.
I forgot to I was in such a hurry with updating his computer and had all this shit going on, getting ready for Heroes Con. That's why we were so late. I didn't have a chance to change the background, but we'll just keep it like this as we're talking about. All right, so I got another question for you. We're talking about Kung Fu movies.
Yeah.
Well, me and you seem to have a lot in common because, like, our fathers both have military backgrounds. I wasn't in the military because I'm disabled, but I wanted to if I could have. But anyway, it probably would have done me a lot of good because I was a hellion. I'll just say that. But and the Kung Fu movie, I remember going to the local video store. We have a video store called the Video Connection. It was a mom and pop shop. You could tell the mom and pop shops video rentals because they had tanning beds in the back.
Oh damn!
They did this one. You could get a tan and get some books. But
the mom.
Yeah.
See, I remember video store too because the one that we went to, they had a curtain, and behind the curtain were all the
dirty ones.
All the porno.
Yeah,
all the porno shit was behind the on the curtain.
And you'd always try to see if you could X-ray vision your eyes to imagine what was. You always imagine what's behind what's behind.
I'd go with my wife and I'd be like, "Hey, what's behind the curtain?" And she's like, "Shut the fuck up."
We used to do too.
No, she's all down. You're not going back there.
Me and my boys were in high school and went into the video store on a weekend, and we were walking by there, and we pushed our buddy in there and got him in trouble. Bobby said, "Enter the Dragon's List is based on the story of my life." Oh, really?
Oh, that's what's up.
Was that your island? Were you hand? All right. Anyway, talk about that. There was nothing better there, was there? On the weekend, you're going to go to Pizza Hut and get some pizza. Go rent you a couple of video games, maybe a new release, but then you'd get those 50-cent rentals or something. And I remember getting American Ninja and remember Police Story with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And Enter the Dragon, all of Chinese Connection, all these great kung fu movies, and the John Woo. Both of you remember John Woo? He did all those action movies with Chow Yun Fat.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back. Let's flash back. It's 1987 or 86. It's 1986.
Oh shit! That's when I graduated from high school.
All right. Okay. Let's go back even further. Let's say 1983.
All right.
85. I don't know. Whenever you went to the video store as a kid.
Okay.
Teenager, don't matter. You're going in there and you're going to rent 3 or 4 movies. What? Or some kung fu. What kind of martial art movies will you be renting?
Well, the thing is, a lot of were offbeat. The thing, people that are pretty familiar with are the Wu-Tang, movies. Those were the best. The thing is, I like them because they were I like those movies, the period kung fu movies, than if they did modern day stuff. If in modern times, I like it when they did it back then when they had kung fu masters and they had the monks.
36 Chambers. The flying guillotine. Remember that one?
Dude, that's my symbol. If you look at my my channel, the Paul and the 619, that's the Master of the Flying Guillotine. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That is my all-time favorite.
Yeah. It's such a badass movie. And I saw some of the History Channel, they kind of proved that they actually did invent something like that. I don't know how well it worked. But Bobby said he graduated in 83. I mean, it seems like it would take a lot of work to actually, you'd already be killed by the time you threw it. But I don't know.
The thing is it's a bunch of blades, right? So if you could hit somebody with it and you could kill them because it was sharp, right? And then the thing is, the object was to throw it on a dude's head, and once you threw it on a dude's head, this chain thing would come down, and then when you pulled it because it was connected to a chain, it would take the dude's head off. That shit was dope.
That was dope as hell. I remember I used to watch these. Do you remember Sonny Chiba?
Yeah.
The Street Fighter, Return of the Street Fighter, Sister. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if you ever saw it, and I think you have to watch it with a subtitle. You know how everybody's like, I don't want to read when I watch a movie, but it's so much better when those movies are not dubbed, to be honest. But in my opinion, I watched a movie called The Shogun's Assassin.
Yeah.
With not Chow Yun Fat, Sonny Chiba. And I'm getting continents mixed up now, or countries. But anyway, I don't know. But anyway, I love that stuff. You know what I mean? Even in Hong Kong cinema, you remember Cynthia Rothrock? I had a big crush on that chick.
If I see the picture, yeah. But the thing with me is I don't have a problem watching a movie with subtitles, but I like it when it's dubbed because they'll have a kid, and then the kid be all, hey mister, and
and it's just an adult doing that
with acting like a kid,
we used to
Hey,
joke about
mister,
this, like we would do like that,
Mister,
and we'd act like
we
we were
like to
fighting.
see you.
And me and my cousins would go like, "Your crane style will not beat my tiger claw." We need to do a video like that at like Heroes Con with the music, like the intro music, and be like,
Five
"Hi
Deadly
guys,
Sins. Yeah, that's
my
that's
vision and
fucking
Scarlet
OG
Witch
shit.
beat your spawn." I don't know. Yeah, I have. Who has? I mean, if you haven't seen that movie, Bobby's right. Look here, read that one.
Yeah, Five Deadly Venoms, and then there's Deadly Killers,
Yeah.
7 Chambers of Shaolin. There's dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! And you know what the thing is too? There's a lot of obscure ones. It's dope, man. Some dope shit.
And we had the great ninja films of the '80s. You know, like Return of the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Pray for Death, Ninja 3, The Domination. My personal favorite. Where what's her name? The girl from Lucinda Dickey is possessed by the spirit of a dead ninja. I mean, come on. That one basically writes itself. I mean, I don't know how many drugs they were doing when they decided to make that one, but it's cool with me.
And the thing is, I still like kung fu movies. It's so funny is a lot of the kung fu movies now, don't come out of China. They come out of Korea.
Yeah.
So and the budget for those, I mean, they spent some money. They spent some money on those.
There's some great ones on Netflix.
And what the funny thing is? My parents watch kung fu movies. So I go there when because they don't live too far from me. Like I try to see them like at least once a week. And when I do, they're watching kung fu stuff. It's so funny. I love it, so yeah.
I love that stuff though. I mean, it's just like you know what? It's like, okay, it's not like going to win an Oscar or nothing like that, but it's
dude, it's an action movie.
It's just a good time. Like, you remember one of the weekends, like TBS or something, or USA Network would be like late at night and they would show stuff like that, or the old monster movies, and it was going to be a good weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I used to watch Monster Vision all the time on TNT.
Shit, dude, I'm telling you, man, we have so much in common because I used to watch that shit too.
Joe Bob Briggs. Remember Joe Bob Briggs, man. Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
We'll see him. He'll be at Heroes too.
Yeah.
Are you bringing your treehouse, or are you going to bring me some Soylent Green, Phil? Come on. You got to bring enough Soylent Green for everybody, right? Okay. Here's a good question. I thought of this one earlier today. Okay. The house is on fire. You can only save 5 comic books. What 5 comic books are you taking out of the house? Okay,
so my wife, my dog, my turtle.
I mean, you get them out; they're already out. Okay,
all right. Let's see. Shit, I don't know, man. 5 comics. If I could get to my safe, it'll be comics in my safe. But pretty much, oh man, it's
a selfish choice question. I have the hard questions on here, Paul.
You do, man. They're hard hitting. You got me sweating. Pretty much, I would get that Legacy of Vader. It has a remark from John Jang. I'd grab that. I'd grab these right here. This one right here. That's the Edge from Marvin Wynn. And both of those guys are going to be at Heroes, so that's going to be amazing. Shit. Probably my my FF48, the first Solar Surfer, my Spotlight, first Ghost Rider, and my giant size X-Men #1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta get that one. Hey, look, Mr. Marston, I'm grabbing all that ain't on fire. I feel you. Bobby's like, who did it choose from? I'll just sit down and start reading them. I guess he'll just style with them. I would try to, you know what though? It's not a fair question because I would try to at least grab like a short box with all my good ones in it because I keep all my most valuable ones in one short box.
Okay, so God willing, there never is a fire where I have to do that because this thing right here, This is like if the fire department came into this room and they inspected. This is a fire hazard. If someone lit a match in here, all this would go away.
It would be like a tinderbox.
It would be like a tinderbox. Yeah.
Call or like two peas in a pod, Blood Brothers. Yeah. Well, you know what? I wish I had the clip from Step Brothers right now. Did we just become best friends? Yeah. Now we're gonna go to Heroes Con, and me and Paul are gonna build bunk beds in the room. So, all right. And Steven says he's gonna save all his Two Rock #1. Steven, you've been hanging out with Legion of Comics too much.
Yeah, Legion, man. Yeah, he loves his Two Rock.
He got a whole box full of them. He's wanting more than one box full of them. You know what I mean? Hey, I respect that. It's like it's our fandom, right? We all have different fandoms, and I mean I respect that because like I like some stuff that's not that popular, like like 90s Superman. A lot of people don't really collect 90. It was so overprinted, but I love 90s Superman, and like a lot of that with the Wolverine in the 90s. Like some people didn't like it because they they kind of had like a problem in the 90s that people weren't buying comics like they were. But yeah, I think it's because we grew up on it, and it's what we grew up with. I think we got a little soft spot for that stuff.
There's good and bad on that. If you're collecting somebody other people are not collecting, that means that you probably have a better chance of getting it. But saying that, even though you're collecting it and nobody else collects it, doesn't mean you can find it. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff that's out there are ghosts. It's ghostly.
Some stuff's hard to find. Yeah. Steven says I have so many Valiant books. I'll tell you a good one that's can be hard to find. Although I've been seeing them pop up a lot of whatnot lately. Is one I liked was Xenozoic Tales, or i.e. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. There was a cartoon in the 90s, I think.
Yep. And I remember that one.
And sometimes they're hard to find because people don't really pick them up to sell or anything usually. I mean, you can find them, but they're like, so I like some of the obscure or like some of the old school, I don't know if you remember Eclipse Comics, so that stuff can be hard to find. Yeah, Bobby said, Bob, you definitely have to save George Perez original art.
Yeah, for sure, brother. For sure, yeah. George Perez, that goes with you. Yeah, see, that's the thing that sucks about fires. Mars is saying it is the water and smoke damage. Like you could have your clothes. You can save your clothes, but dude, they're gonna smell. To get the smoke out of. Because I had a friend that they had a fire. They had a fire in their laundry room. And like pretty much their first floor was, dude, it was just gutted. And whatever didn't burn, the smoke damage. You can't get the smoke smell out. It's crazy.
And, look, I bought some books off somebody one time. It was just a small stack, but they'd always been in a house where people smoked cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
And the pages will almost turn black.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like,
were they in bag and boards?
Like X-Men 251 like that, Well,
were they in bag
you
and
can't
boards?
get that smell out of it,
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Well, okay, let's switch gears. What are your 5 all-time favorite comic book characters?
Black Panther, Silver Surfer. Let's see. I love Hulk. As a kid, Hulk was another comic that I enjoyed reading when I was a kid.
That TV series was hot back in the day when we were growing up. So.
Yeah, it was funny too because when Lou Ferrigno would turn, when Bruce Banner, Bill Bixby was his name.
Bill Bixby.
Yeah, when he would turn into Lou Ferrigno the Hulk, my sister would like hide under the table and be all scared. And I fucking love that shit. I loved it that my sister was scared. I was like, this is awesome.
That's funny because I remember as a kid watching Star Wars on videotape.
Man.
I was a little kid and watching, the part where they pull the rebel ship into a tractor beam and Vader walks out and they're all lining the dead bodies up, right? When he walks out, I would hide behind the couch. I was scared of Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, he's fucking a scary motherfucker. You see that dude was real life? Ooh, shit. Well, dude, first time I saw Star Wars was first time I saw Star Wars in the drive-in there was a double feature.
right.
It was Star Wars and heavy metal. All right.
Oh my God! Hell
So
yeah!
we're in the station wagon. My brother and I. I don't think my sister was born yet, but it was my mom and dad, and it was my brother and I. We're watching in Star Wars. Star Wars blew my mind, but then double feature. Heavy metal, starts playing. It's a cartoon. I'm thinking, okay, this is a cartoon, dude. That's the first time I ever saw titties in a cartoon, and
Yeah.
that shit blew my mind. I started crying. Like hard, and then it was funny because I was crying. My little brother, saw me crying, so he starts crying, and my dad's just like, ah, fuck. So we end up leaving in the middle of heavy metal. I just didn't understand it, right? But check this out. If you look over my shoulder, I have a VHS tape of heavy metal right there.
All right.
So as I got
remember watching that,
older,
like, I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching this. I remember watching it as a kid.
yeah, no, I watched it as a kid and I didn't understand it. It just made my mind melt.
You remember that Frank Frazetta movie, Fire and Ice? Fire and
Yeah,
Ice?
no, that movie was so good.
Woo, it's so good.
Yeah, that movie
And
was so good.
man, there were some great animated movies back then. They're like they had the Hobbit and
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, and then there was Secret of the Nim.
Yep.
That movie was dark, man.
Some bangers, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I
didn't rewatch that shit tonight. That makes me want to rewatch. That's going to be on Good Cinema soon, I think. Maybe Heavy Metal too. I love that.
Nice.
I love all that shit, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, did you get the thing I used to get, like when there would be like a sex scene or something come on, and I was watching it, my mom would be like, you should cover my eyes, or like, close your eyes, and I'd be like this.
No.
I don't know. It was a great time though. We
were in the back of the station wagon. I don't think my mom, if she wanted to do that, she could reach. That's too far away.
Well, it was a different time. I remember my mom taking me to see Terminator.
Oh, and shit.
I was born in 1976, so I couldn't have been more than 10 years old.
Nice.
And it really bothered me. Like, I don't know. They're like, oh, it's going to be a bad influence on people like they do now, but I don't really. I mean, they're obviously, you don't want your kids watching something dirty, but like, the violence thing, like, I don't know. It was just like, I guess it was a different time back then. We know how we got helicopter parents kind of now, they're like, oh you can't do this, Johnny can't do that. You can't go outside and play with kids. We was like, if that would be like, oh, let him go out there and fall and skin his knee, he'll learn.
Yeah, no, dude. If you can remember the kind of shit they had on playgrounds, Wizards,
yes,
Wizards,
dangerous,
dude. They used to have some crazy ass shit on playgrounds. Things that would be like, you know what I mean? It's like before it was like it'd be the playground would be on sand. Nowadays nothing's super high, and then everything has like rubber now. You know what I mean? Like
they got like the little rubber pellets and stuff they put out.
Rubber pellets. Yeah, I've seen that.
And we had like the deadliest. It's like, actually, I don't live far from the playground I used to play on, just right here where I'm pointing. And they moved all that stuff out. It's still the same playground, but like we had like the most dangerous, deadly merry-go-round in the history of merry-go-rounds.
I bet.
And they called it the Widowmaker. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I don't know, but it was a different time back then. You know what I mean? It was a different time.
It was. Yeah, like you said, drink from the hose.
Yep. The whole. You ever listen to Theo Vaughn?
Sometimes he's funny.
He goes, man, you get that hose hit, boy, go straight to the dome. He says, we get it water right from the source. And he said, my one boy would like to do it. My one buddy. He says, but if you got to be the first one to get that hose on and get the first hit of water, and it was warm. Ugh.
It was hot. Oh,
yeah, hot. He goes, he called it that hot hose hit. He says, but my buddy Leroy would do that. He liked that hot hose hit. He said he had magnesium in his blood or something. Hey, Christina.
Yeah, you're killing me.
Christina.
Hey. Tomorrow, Christina.
Yeah, Wizard by Ralph. That's what he was talking about, I think, Kev. It's good to see you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing all right, man. I wish you was going with us, bro.
Yeah.
But we got you on that Don Rosa stuff, bro. I'm telling you, we got it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Me and Paul and Will are on the case, and Glenn, my friend, Flat Earth Santa.
Yeah, man. On a mission.
Hey, he's got the Wizards poster autographed by Bakshi. Cool.
Oh, nice.
Sweet. Okay. So where are we at? Okay, I lost my place here. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to ask a Heroes Con related question.
Okay. Hit
Since
me.
Tomorrow we're all going to Heroes Con.
Yes.
What are you looking for to get while you're there? Books.
Well,
Are you planning on getting any signatures?
As far as the reason I'm going, it's pretty much to see everyone that I'm friends with on YouTube.
Same here.
The Amazing Friends. I can't wait to meet the majority of the Amazing Friends. We're going to really have a good time. That's the main reason I'm going there. Comic Cons. When I go to Comic Cons, the last few Comic Cons I've gone to, I'm looking for Spawn books. There's some homage ones that I'm still missing. Hopefully I could get them. What's the Batman one where he's hugging the girl?
I think it's Batman 424. I think. Let me look it up.
Okay,
I want that one too.
So Spawn, there's a homage cover to that comic, and it's issue 230. So I'm looking for that. That's the main comic that I'm looking for. Other than that, I know Marvin Wynn's gonna be there, so I'm gonna see what he has. I'm gonna try to buy anything from Marvin Wynn that I don't already own. I'm looking to get John Jang to give me some remarks, because let me show you the comics that I want him to remark. Where did I put them?
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, I already packed it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. So you want the homage to Batman 423? It's Spawn
yes.
issue 230.
Okay. Yeah, Spawn 230. That's the main comic that I'm targeting. Yeah, I want to get it. That's the one. That's the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for it, and I hope to walk the floor, and some guy has his wall, and seeing it on the wall, and then seeing if I could we could come to a agreeable price.
Yeah,
there's a price in my mind that I'm willing to pay, and nothing higher. I'm not going to pay more than that. But yeah, John Jang, I'm going to get a couple remarks from him. Marvin Wynn. I'm going to see if there's any comics that he's selling that I don't already own. Spawn books. But other than that, that's it. But the thing with cons, you just walk the floor and there's going to be something that's going to catch your attention.
Yeah, you never know. It might be something you weren't even looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know. And then there's some books that I got, like, for example, Kevin, there's a book that he's or there's stuff he's looking for. There's some stuff that I'm gonna be looking for the homies, stuff I can find and gift, so I'm not just going for me, and I know my wife too. She's probably doing the same thing. She's probably gonna try to find stuff to get for presents. So, yeah, but mainly, the reason I'm there is to see you, Matt. Always end up coming home with nothing I was after, but a lot of cool stuff. Exactly what Kevin said.
Oh, look here, Comics of Bueller is selling like $25 short boxes of Spawn. So
shit!
You might want to message him on IG and see what he's got.
Well,
and I forgot one earlier when people were asking what's going to be at the con. Remember, keep your eye out for this one, guys.
Oh, damn.
C3 art book, cover art by David Sanchez. All proceeds go to cancer research. So, and they will be at booth 1766. And I'm sure me and Paul will be stopping by there at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that out there because it's such a great cause. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also if you look on Instagram, I think DJ Links is showing there's going to be 3 different variant covers for it too. So you have
Well, I
a
like
chance
that
to
whole
follow.
one. I don't know what the other ones are, but that one you just showed was amazing.
Fire. Yeah. And then like
Yeah.
also they're going to be doing like they're going to have a Crow exclusive as well. So,
Nice.
I got it. Well, I'm gonna ask one more question.
Okay.
Okay, now I ended with this little questionnaire. I've started doing this. I'm just gonna find it. Did you ever watch you know the channel A&E? Remember A&E?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember the show with Inside the Actor Studio?
American Pickers?
No, Inside the Actor Studio.
Oh,
Where they would interview an actor. Well, he would ask these 10 questions of all his guests, all the actors, right? And there were some greats like Paul Newman would come on there, and like Sean Penn, or Matthew McConaughey, right?
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. The guy has like a beard, a red beard, and glasses. Yeah.
Well, these 10 questions were originally on the show, and it's from a French show called Beyond de Couture, and this is just a 10 question questionnaire. What is your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I dope. I say that word so many times.
What is your least favorite? What's your least favorite word? All right.
Dope.
Yeah, there's a Crow cover, Steven.
Oh, damn.
What's your least favorite word?
Toxic. I hear that word.
Oh, yeah, word's overused these days.
If I hear that word, I'm running the other way.
So I guess you don't like that Britney Spears song then.
Yeah, no.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Food. Yeah,
I think we are best friends now. I think we are best friends now. All right.
Well, the thing is that I could be like, usually, if anything, you could always talk about food, man. Woo.
Yeah.
I heard Heroes Con, the Charlotte, right, the area. I heard the seafood's pretty good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like if we go to like get some catfish, or like, ooh man, I'm talking like if we could get like some fried okra, dude. I wanna eat shit like that when I'm over there.
Yeah, I might have to go out there and do that.
Oh man.
What turns you off?
What turns me off?
Yeah.
Shit. Elevator music? I don't know. I don't know what to say.
That's a good question. Just whatever comes to your mind. All right. Yeah. What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
I don't know, but I gotta tell you, like when I hear it, when I see a friend, and my friend goes, "Yo," dude, that pops me up. I was like, "What's up?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Okay, what sound or noise do you hate?
Well, my okay, this I hate when my wife does this. It pisses me off. It's like when she gets scared. She goes, "Huh?" I hate that.
Okay, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
If what?
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
The thing is, I definitely went to school for this, but I got sidetracked. And I always thought that if things were different, I would want to pursue it. Is a school teacher.
Oh yeah.
I went to school to become a teacher, but shit happens, and I end up doing what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, what profession would you not like to do?
I did construction for a summer. Just a summer, bro. Yeah. If I wasn't operating heavy equipment, well, I don't want to be a ditch digger. I did that for a summer and I hated it.
Okay. If the last question of the questionnaire, if heaven exists, What would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh man, welcome,
I think
son.
that's what we all want, right? You know what I mean?
I'll say
Come
welcome,
on
son.
in.
I'll be a
All your
hell
friends are
yeah,
waiting here, right? Yeah,
man.
I agree with that. Real quick, guys, if we have any questions, I don't want to keep my guest all night. He's got to get ready for this trip. He's got a long way to fly. So if there's any questions, real quick from the chat, right now it's the time to do it. And to remind you that also there is no. You'll see some random shows. I might do a live stream, like real quick from the con floor, and maybe one from my room, or like in a conference room or something with Paul and everybody. But there won't be any of my regular shows this week. So obviously. Well, okay. We're waiting a little bit. While we're waiting, I want to thank you very much for coming on and being a guest tonight. I appreciate it.
Man, you know I love you, bro. And when you asked me, I was like, yeah, heck yeah, man. I didn't even hestate.
Yeah,
Sod lighting is rough. Yeah.
My cuss used to be what they call a 10 knocker, like putting in ductwork for air conditioning. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I like what Bobby said.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a nice way to end the show. Like I started doing that last week. I just thought it was like interesting because I know we talk a lot about comics and stuff. So
yeah, no, dude, that was fun. This is fun.
Well, guys, I guess if nobody's got any questions, we'll wrap it up. Paul, right. I can't wait to meet you, man.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's dude. It's here, man. It's time's here. The thing is, I left work when it was like a shit show, and it felt so damn good. I worked
deuces,
until
like say deuces on the way out.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was getting all my shit, got my beer, and I'd be like, yeah, peace. And they're like, don't leave. No, don't go.
No.
All right.
Well, later, nerds.
Steven says, question for Paul. What is your grail? A grail that I own or a grail that I want to have one of these days?
I guess I would just say I think he meant like when you would want to get one of these days.
The first store. What is that? Journey to Mystery, whatever number that is. 83?
893 or 83 or something like that.
Yeah. That would be my grail. I would love to own that book one of these days. God willing, it happens. But you never know.
I got so many of them I want though. Like,
oh, dude,
giant size X-Men and the Conan the Barbarian #1 would be 2 for me.
Yeah, Bobby says Fantastic Four #1. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mystery 83. That's it. Thanks, Kevin. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, before we wrap it up, I got to play my favorite clip. It's some words of wisdom from the one and only Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
I love it.
I'm still trying to get Paul to make us a clip of that movie with our heads on it, like from.
I gotta find one. There's so much on there. We'll see. We'll see what we can do.
All right. Well, guys, it's been Kevin says amazing fence. Of course, yeah. I'd like it too. But if I ever got it, if like somebody like I found one or something in a barn or something, like it's the only way I could afford it. But I would probably sell it. I mean, I don't know. I just need to gotta have that money, right? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe not that much, but I'd be afraid to have it in the house. Like somebody would like, oh, you got that? Look, I'm coming to steal it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my guest, Paul, the 619, for being here. Yeah, Bob, it's good hanging with you guys too. I love getting to talk to my friends in the community. And remember, Paul, he does his Tuesday show called Paul the 619 every week. He might be off next week though, I'm assuming, because you'll be traveling.
Yeah, I'll be on the road. So
we usually every week at like 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, right?
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tuesday night, Amazing Friends. But yeah, next week I'll be on the road. So no show next week.
Interview show is at what time? Is it like at 9 a.m. Pacific?
It's 12 p.m. on Sundays. It's 12 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
3 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
You got it, Bobby. I will drink one for you while we're there. All right.
Yeah.
I don't really drink too much,
man.
but I'll drink a Shirley Temple or something for you. All right. Paul will probably do enough drinking for both of us.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I kind of want to just enjoy meeting everybody. That's the main reason I'm going. I don't really have a lot of money, but this is my vacation too, you know. Oh yeah,
Heck yeah, man.
Tomorrow night he'll be doing the Comic Lounge on my channel, so there will be a show. I might drop in for a minute. I need to set that up, Kevin. Thanks for reminding me. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank everybody for watching, and until next time, true believers. Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod!
Snoochie boochies.